Recently, I got a question. I've gotten this question a lot over the years, but it was like, what do I attribute a lot of my success to? And there's a lot of answers I can give, but I want to talk about one that really has come through for me recently because when I look back at my career and see the different exits, see the different multiple eight-figure and multiple seven-figure companies, the investments I've made, me playing a role as an advisor, growing my personal brand. Fundamentally, one of the greatest skills and superpowers of mine has been forming strategic partnerships. And so I wanted to create some content around this because you know, I'm a competitor at heart. I believe in competition. It drives me. I do believe that it's all about being in competition with yourself. And so for me, it's all about driving to be the best version of me every single day. When I was younger, for sure, it was more external. I wanted to compete with everybody, and I still strive from that. Like I'd be lying if I said that I didn't love competition when I get into, especially with sports, like competing against someone. And I think there is a healthy component to that. And when I think about real growth, I think it comes from a collaborative mindset. And when I think about the last exit that I had with Elite Daily, if you guys don't know, I built a company. Two interns became my co-founders. We scaled that company from the three of us in an apartment with just some folding chairs to 200 employees, 80 million visitors per month, and sold to $1 billion company in 4.5 years. And when I think about that exit, I attribute a lot of the success and reason why we were able to grow so quickly through strategic partnerships, through collaborating with other dope ass influencers, collaborating and partnering with Complex Magazine and Huffington Post, which really, if you think about it, these people are like, these companies could be like our competitors, right? But instead of actually just like having a chip on my shoulder and just trying to compete with them, we figured out ways where you can create a win-win-win mindset. And so I want you just to think about that because that mindset literally helped me to sell my company. Like I got an acquisition with $1 billion company simply because I went to my biggest quote competitor and I looked to build a relationship with their COO who left my biggest competitor, BuzzFeed, went to the Daily Mail, shared with him our enthusiasm, our purpose, our passion for what we were building as the largest millennial online publication covering business, health, lifestyle, entertainment, relationships. And I shared the passion with him, tracked him down, got him to come to our office, and that relationship turned into an exit. And so, like, man, I can't even tell you the amount of stories I have of me partnering with different dope ass influential individuals and companies that were in alignment to my purpose, were in alignment to my vision, and leveraging that influence, leveraging that relationship to exponentially grow and scale my idea, my business, my purpose. And so, thinking about right now in this era, especially with our generation, you can just see how much this is bringing massive exponential growth, like quantum growth, right? Like even if you look at some of the personal brands online, they are collaborating. They're shooting content with each other, and through that collaboration, you're seeing that they are hacking the system and they're growing, and and that's allowing them to grow their audience, grow their impact, and also grow their business. And so, who are people that are in your circle and that you can be partnering with? And if right now you're having a hard time even thinking about who that could be, that's also a really dope sign for you where like maybe this is the next chapter for your growth is like investing into building stronger relationships with dope ass creators, artists, entrepreneurs out here that could support you. That where are these individuals? I can tell you for one thing, they're definitely in dope ass communities like Leaders Create Leaders, like our mastermind, where we have dope ass global influential leaders that I'm one of the things that I love most about our community so far is the fact that like I'm seeing a high percentage of them not only become lifelong friends, but they're actually partnering up. They're launching products together, they're launching business partnerships together, and they're collaborating, just sharing each other's content, engaging, doing live streams, podcasts. And that to me is like so dope, so dope. Like even to me, I probably would say that's even doper to me than their actual internal growth that we see from like them going from six figures to seven figures, and their own personal transformation. Just the seeing the relationships and the collaboration that's happening within the ecosystem is so valuable. And so you can be investing into masterminds, whether it's Leaders Create Leaders or not, but going and investing into dope masterminds and communities, going to dope events. What I love about the NFT space is you're seeing it's built on community. Like I bought a Meta Billionaire, and I'm seeing they just did a dope ass event in Dubai, and I'm like, yo, if I bought that NFT just to go to that event, what could that create for me? The same thing with Gary V, right? For those that invest into the V friends, like just the fact that you get to go to VCon and maybe like rub shoulders and meet other people that are aligned to a very similar path and passion, like it's worth it. Like go and expand your network, and think of it as like that relationship capital. I did a course once called Social Currency. That social currency is so valuable. Like you can leverage it in so many different dope ways. And so thinking about collaboration, thinking about not only the communities you can invest in, how can you start to create more value in reaching out individually using the DMs and building relationships there, reaching out to your contacts and saying, yo, can you make an introduction? One of my private clients was talking to me how he's got an 8-figure company revolutionizing music and tech. Shout out to my man A Rock, got the sickest new F-18 Ferrari, about to get it kitted out. We just had one of our private VIP calls, and I saw a collaboration. I was like, oh, you should connect to my boy Steven, who's also got a music label, who's also successful, who's in NFTs and talking about Web 3.0 and how that's going to evolve within the music tech space. And I'm like, I'm going to put you two together. And so asking for connections within your network, right? Especially if you even have a coach, but even with your friends, like asking for plugs, like, yo, hook me up, introduce me. I mean, I'm sitting across from my videographer right now, Jeb. I just introduced him to my friends, Jeremy and Angie. My man, through that connection, did that collaboration. Now just got to go to Puerto Vallarta, and he was just telling me how fucking dope that trip was. And I'm like, that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't the connection. And now look at the way they're collaborating. Look at the way he's now monetizing. And so thinking about collaboration this year is going to be a game changer for you in your being, right? Like not just in your doing, but like who you're being. And that means having a mudita mindset. What does mudita mean? It's a Sanskrit word I learned from a dear, dear friend who impacted my life, Natalie, who taught me this word. And the mudita mindset means to celebrate the success of others without envy. And so when you really come into having joy seeing other people succeed, yo, that kind of mindset is a game changer. People feel that energy because you just around you, you're like, oh, I want to support you. Like for me, I thrive. If I meet you, I work with you, you're in my inner circle. I'm like listening to your vision and passion. And I'm like, okay, who can I introduce you to that you can collaborate with that's going to exponentially help you get to your vision coming to fruition faster? It just drives me. It gives me joy. And so when you live that way, you embody that, it comes back tenfold to you. People want to help you, and people want to collaborate with you naturally. It's the reason why I was able to get Gary Vee or Ed Milet or um, Roy Kramer or all these dope people that have been on Leaders Create Leaders show. Is because they're down to collaborate with me because who I be, because I actually care about them. I actually want to support them. And so as you're thinking about collaboration, it's what's really important is like the word empathy. And what does empathy really mean? It means in Greek, in feeling. In feeling. It means to be emotionally invested. For you to emotionally invest into other people and to genuinely care about their feelings, to care about their vision. When you start to live that way and have empathy for others, it's a game changer. People want to collaborate with you, but also people feel connected to you. They trust you. Your team, when I started activating empathy in my relationships went through the roof, especially in business. My team was like, yo, G really cares. And they feel heard, they feel seen, they feel like I listen, they feel like I'm investing in them. And so when that happens, boom, all of a sudden productivity goes up, relationship capital rises, and the execution rises, and the results therefore rise. So tap into empathy, care about people. Like, I remember when I sat down and had an interview with Rory Kramer, I remember that this moment where it was like, I knew he just got into a car crash. And I was like, this has got to be hard. He's never done an interview like this, one. And two, he just got into a life and death situation. And he's probably used to most people hitting him up and asking him questions about Justin Bieber and the chain smokers and everything else. But I knew that I had to have a moment with him where I really connected to his heart and I cared about what he just went through personally. And that allowed me to just tap into this vulnerable moment with him. And when he felt that connection, that I genuinely cared about him, not just what he does for a living, not just his connection to celebrities, but him, boom, he wants to collaborate more. He wants to open up more. And there's actually friendship that can grow from that. So thinking about that, and the keys to empathy are, one, the ability to feel not only your own emotions, but like others' emotions. And that leads to the second tip, which is having good boundaries, knowing that when you listen to someone, you're feeling their experience, but you're identifying with it, but you're not taking it on. You're feeling into it, but you're recognizing, all right, this isn't mine, this is theirs, right? And so that's really important, having a balance and having good boundaries so you can feel into it but not take it fully on. And then three, listening in a way to understand, listening in a way that communicates that you genuinely care, and you're not just there to hear them and just react or respond or just tell them about your own experience and how this is. No, no, no. You're there to like really listen. And that means listening to them, right? That means experiencing them. And that means even sharing what you heard from them and the experience about their experience, so that they know that their experience is heard. Those are three keys. And so I want you to just take this podcast, put it into action, go think about collaboration, go think about how you can activate more empathy in your life. Go think about how you can be more of value in these relationships out there. I want you to sit and envision, like, who do you get to create collaboration with this year? One of my idols is Virgil. God rest his soul, Virgil Abloh. And he was such a collaborator. If you think about the future of some of these dope ass artists and entrepreneurs, like, they're collaborating. Like, I love what Ronnie Fieg is doing with Kith. You see how he's collaborating with Disney or Coca-Cola or, The Simpsons, and he's collaborating with all these different cool ass brands. Virgil was doing that. He did just recently, he's passed away. I knew he was leaving Easter eggs. He just did a collaboration with Nike and Louis Vuitton, and he's no longer even here. And he put those two together. And so, like, it's not just you collaborating with other people, it's how can you collaborate with other brands? I collaborated with Toyota. I collaborated with Prudential. I collaborated with dope ass companies out there and leveraged my brand and collaborated with them and got in front of their audience and brought them value. So there's other brands out there that are looking for you, to work with you, that you can be collaborating with, even not only with you personally, but in your business. Thinking about you as a CEO, how can I leverage right now collaboration to exponentially grow my company, right? And thinking about strategic partnerships. One of my clients, I was talking to him, I'm like, yo, like, you can go, and if you want to get, he wants to get an acquisition over the next few years. I'm like, okay, let's go build some strategic partnerships and create some relationships and even get some advisors that are from the companies that would buy you out. That's how you reverse engineer a buyout. And so this podcast, let this inspire you that if you want to exponentially grow your income, your impact, your influence in the world right now, start embodying collaboration over competition. still have that inner competitor in you to be the best version of you, but start living the mudita mindset and start living more of a collaboration. And talking about collaboration, something that I live by, I just collaborated with my boy Adam Roa. And so for those of you that want to up level your intimacy, love, relationships, go to createlovefestival.com right now. Grab these tickets because it's going to be such a dope festival. This is a virtual festival, inexpensive tickets, and it's going to be all around just like sex and relationships and intimacy and just love, and it's going to be so dope. And the different people that are involved in it that are collaborating on the event, it's access to all these awesome wizards and dope ass leaders, artists. So you never know. You even may even meet someone that you may freaking date, right? Like, so go into that container, check it out, createlovefestival.com. And you can also learn more just going to adam.roa on Instagram. So go check it out, createlovefestival.com. YouTube fam, we out here. We're doing more videos like this where I just want to just straight off the dome give you guys massive value and experience and just show you more about like who I am. And so if this was valuable, like drop a comment and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys. It's your host, Jeezy. Leaders create leaders, walk in wisdom. Peace.